Now I've got some mango already cut up, but I want to show you the technique of cutting a mango, because a mango is a bit difficult to work with. First of all, when you pick a mango, you want to make sure that it is a little bit soft and gives when you give it a push. Kind of like you're picking a peach or a nectarine. I make a little slice in the top of the mango, and I place my knife and slice right down until I hit that fibrous pit. Once I've cut down to where I've connected with this pit, I'm going to tilt my knife back a little bit just so I can kind of hug the edge of this pit. I'm going to then keep my knife a little bit tilted back so I can slide right down and catch as much of the flesh as I can coming down. So I'm going right down along that fibrous pit, and you can see part of the pit exposed here. That's the hard pit. Now I'm going to take my knife right back on that top side and slice right across and do the exact same process. I want to go right around and cut right along that pit, capturing as much flesh as possible. We can also pull the skin right off the edges and get a little bit more mango flesh off each side. Again, be careful because the mangoes are extremely slippery to handle. There's one more little piece of flesh coming off the side. You want to make sure that you're getting mangoes that are nice and ripe. Sometimes there's still some flesh on the pit. A good mango is a type of mango that you bite into and the juice just runs down your neck. They're wonderful. Sometimes they take these pits over to the sink and just suck off all the flesh. Really delicious and hard to pass by when you know that they're nice and ripe. Now the next part of this process is a bit tricky. I do this sometimes in my hand, but you'll want to lay this down because we're going to score this. And you always have to be careful that you're not slicing down and nicking your hand. So we want to just score this about a ½ inch in complete lines. And we're going to do it in both directions. Again, you'll do this on the cutting board to prevent an injury. I'm a little bit more skilled and have practiced this quite a bit, so I'm willing to take the little bit of a risk. Again, we're cutting not completely through because we don't want to cut through the outer skin. But we're getting pretty close, and that's another reason why you really don't want to do this unless you're very sure of yourself with a knife in your hand. Just lay it out. You'll never have an injury doing it on the board. We'll now invert this and expose all of the cuts that we just made. And it makes for a great little garnish if you're doing a fruit platter, something in your hair, a little Carmen Miranda. But we're going to take our paring knife and we're just going to slice this off because we're going to use this in our dish rather than as a garnish. If a little piece falls off, just take it and slice your flesh right off. And you'll see it comes quickly right off the skin. When a mango is nice and ripe, it's just so soft and luscious. It's just wonderful. We're going to cut up these couple of little pieces that we took off the sides. And we're going to use another jalapeno pepper. Again, I'm going to slice this part way around so that I don't capture too much of the seeds. We actually have some leftover seeds here. I'm just going to slice those out, and part of that white vein I talked about that actually holds a lot of the heat. When you're chopping a lot of the hot peppers, you would probably want to put some latex gloves on, because if your hands are sensitive, your fingertips can actually get pretty hot. It'll feel like it's actually burning. You want to be real careful to wash your hands good afterwards, because the oil from the peppers will get in your fingers, and you'll have to worry about touching sensitive parts of your body, your eyes, ears, so forth, because you get a lot of stinging sensation there. I'm going to take a look at my mussels broth simmering here. It's looking wonderful. I'm going to lower this down and get ready to put our mussels in a minute. Back to our jalapeno. I want to chop this up nice and small. And we're doing a very, very fine chop. You can adjust the amount of jalapeno based on your level of comfort with the heat. If you're very sensitive to the heat, you can leave it out altogether. But I like these dishes to have a little bit of a zing to them. I go down to the beach every summer, and this is one of my favorites to do while I'm on vacation, because we grill up the swordfish steaks, and when you're down at the beach, there's nothing better than enjoying the fruits of the sea and the bounty of the land. We need a little bit of red onion. I'm going to take this red onion and I want to chop this up fine as well. Not quite as fine as the pepper, but small, because I find that it's much more palatable to have smaller pieces of onion rather than getting very, very large sections when you're eating. Let me see. This looks good. Looks like about enough. I'm going to put a little bit of sugar in this one. Some additional cilantro. I'm going to just give that a coarse chop. I'm going to put a little bit of lime juice. Let me get a spoon to mix it up. This is looking lovely. You don't want to make this too many hours ahead, because you want the mango to hold its shape. The lime juice will cause it to break down quickly. Let's put this over here. Give a quick cleanup of our knife. I'm going to take our mussels broth and bring it over so we can get our mussels ready. Look at that wonderful broth. Want to put our mussels right in the broth. You don't want to overcrowd it too much. Back on the flame for a light simmer. I'm going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to open our grill. I'm going to get our swordfish steaks on. Want to get our shrimp on the grill. Put a couple more of these on the skewer. And we'll just put our few extra shrimp on.